Well, and what's so unfortunate today, Bob, is there are so many people in leadership positions everywhere, in associations, in organizations, in government, at every level, who are there. Some of them are there because nobody else wanted it.
Right.
Some of us are there because someone really encouraged us to do that, but not everyone in leadership positions has training and experience in leadership, and they're getting the trial by fire. And that's not when you want to be learning those skills. You want to already have them.
There is certainly some anxiety about speaking, and ever since the Book of Lists came out with their survey citing fear of public speaking as being most frequently mentioned, there have been a lot of jokes about I'd rather blank than get up in front and speak to an audience.
Yes.
What can Toastmasters do to help people address that level of anxiety?
You know, success in Toastmasters or anything else you do is all about repetition.
Right.
And in Toastmasters, we have people who stand up, and it's like you said, they are one of those people who they would rather be anywhere else, doing anything else other than standing in front of a group of people and trying to articulate what their thoughts are. And those first couple of times, they may have to sit down before they even finish. They may get through, but it is so painful, they are thinking, I just cannot do this again. But what has made Toastmasters so successful? One is that our founder, Dr. Ralph Smedley, his philosophy was, we learn best in times of enjoyment. You know, I've talked to so many people who took speech in high school or in college, and they hated it because it wasn't fun for them. So you take that on to our club. Our club mission is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment that is fun. So when people come and they are one of those who stand up and just hate it, they are still going to receive so much positive feedback and instruction on what they can do next time to make it better. They'll hear reinforcement of what they did do well so that they can continue it. And that those two things, our founder's philosophy of having fun and our club mission of providing that positive learning environment, gives people the opportunity to practice where it's safe. There aren't any risks. It's not like you're put on the spot at work and you have to deliver a presentation at your office. If you bomb, that's not a safe place to bomb. But you can do it in Toastmasters, and they'll pick you up, they'll help you through it, they'll encourage you, and that's what makes Toastmasters different.
And Jan, I have to say that was my experience in joining Toastmasters. If it had not been for that supportive environment, I don't think I would have come back. But let's say a person becomes somewhat proficient in giving prepared speeches. What about the need to speak off the cuff, let's say? Does Toastmasters help in that area?
Oh my goodness, yes. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because again, this gets back to sometimes a misperception that Toastmasters is all about public speaking in front of a group. You're delivering prepared speeches. But go back again to communication is one-on-one conversation. Everybody, every day, has to answer questions. We have to answer questions from our spouse, from our children, at our workplace. Your boss asks you questions every day. You may be in a management position and your workers are asking you questions. In customer service, your customers are asking questions every day. If you're a student, your professor is asking you questions every day. That's impromptu speaking. And Toastmasters has a section of their meeting that is solely devoted to practicing impromptu speaking.
Good. Well, let's think about the company environment. As companies become more global in their scope and more competitive, how do you see preparing Toastmasters helping to prepare people to work in the global marketplace?
You know, you really hit on a key there, Bob. English is the recognized language of business around the world.
Yep.
Right now, we are having such an interest to start Toastmasters clubs in China that we're actually having to ask people to hold on and wait because of the support base that we need to run those Toastmaster clubs the way we need them. But you can go to China, you can go to Taiwan, you can walk into a coffee shop and there are advertisements and notes up on the bulletin boards in the coffee shops from someone who will pay money to just sit at the table and drink coffee with you to give them an opportunity to practice their English. So right now, and as I mentioned, we have a lot of students here from countries outside the United States and Canada who realize that it's not just the knowledge they need to gain to be successful, it's also the ability to communicate. And Toastmasters provides that for you.
And there's more to communication than just the words.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I see that you've been a Toastmaster for over 20 years now. I know you're not a slow learner. But what is it that keeps you engaged in Toastmasters?
What keeps me engaged in Toastmasters? For one thing, and I'm not your typical Toastmaster in that I speak for a living. Toastmasters is not about come here and we'll make you a professional speaker. That just happens to be how it happened with me. I realize as a professional speaker that presentation skills and even one-on-one communication skills are not like riding a bicycle. You don't learn to do it one day and then you never have to practice it again. It's just always with you. When I became a professional speaker and I'm on the road a lot, I'm on the road a lot during the week, so I miss my meetings during the week. It didn't take too long. And I remember the day I was standing in front of a group delivering an 8-hour seminar, and it's like a light bulb went off in my head and this little voice went, would you look at your body language? Would you think about what you're doing with your hands? How many times have you said, ah, in the last hour? How ineffectively are you using your notes right now? And that was a big signal to me that communication skills are something you have to stay on top of. I have to stay on top of my game as a professional speaker, just like an athlete has to stay on top of their game. When Tiger Woods finishes a round of golf, he doesn't go in the clubhouse, tally up his score for the day, and then go to his hotel room. He goes back out on the course and he practices another 3 hours to stay on top of things. So that's one reason why I stay. Another reason why I stay is because now it is so exciting for me, and I know you know this too, to see the new people come into Toastmasters and to watch their transformation into a confident, courageous speaker. You know, that's my theme this year is Toastmasters, the courage to conquer, because the confidence you gain by being in Toastmasters gives you courage to do things that you would never thought you would have done. And I love seeing that transformation in people and knowing that I played just the tiniest role in that. And the third reason why I stay is in being in Toastmasters for so long and involved at the international level. And again, you know, you go to the international conventions, we meet people from all over the world. And we realize the only place we may ever see them is at that convention.